Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. A woman was allegedly beaten and publicly humiliated by a group of villagers in Tripura's Dhalai district over her suspected involvement in an extramarital affair. The victim, a mother of two sons, was dragged out of her house at Harerkhola village under the jurisdiction of Kamalpur police station on Saturday morning and assaulted by the group. The villagers also allegedly forced her to wear a garland made of shoes, adding to the humiliation. Following information about the incident, a police team rushed to the spot and found the woman lying on the road. She was later shifted to the district hospital in Ambassa, where she underwent a CT scan. This case raises a very important question. Yes, having an extramarital affair is wrong, but does this mean that people have the authority to conduct moral policing? Let's now take a look at the timeline of the case. Let me show you that, viewers, the timeline of this shocking Tripura assault case. A woman was accused by villagers of having an extramarital affair, reportedly involving staying in Agartala with another married man from the village. On the morning of December 27, a group of villagers allegedly broke into the woman's home in Harerkhola village. On the same morning, the villagers dragged the victim out by pulling her hair, physically assaulting her, parading her through the village and forcing her to wear a garland made of shoes as public humiliation. The victim collapses, injured on the road after the assault. And a video of the assault circulates on social media, sparking widespread outrage, later removed from all platforms by authorities. Police intervenes to rescue the woman and admit her to Bimal Sinha Memorial Hospital in Kamalpur. The woman's husband files a formal complaint at Kamalpur police station. Police register an FIR under relevant sections of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, including 329, 74, 324, 351. Police arrest one accused identified as Prashanta Chakrabarti. So that, of course, viewers, is the timeline of this very shocking and demeaning case. I have Brinda Adige, social activist, joining me on the broadcast. I also have Taira Hassan, who's an activist, Shams Ravesh Rain, Advocate Supreme Court, and Mr. Ellen Rao, former DCP, Special Cell. I want to go across first to Brinda Adige. Brinda, this is extremely shocking. How women are being demeaned in this country is not something that happens only in rural areas, but also in major cities. What would you like to say?
You're absolutely right. It does not matter whether it is a city or a village or a town. A woman is always under the scrutiny of the people, the community over there. And somehow communities think that they have a right and entitlement to correct her. Because all of this is this patriarchal mindset that a woman requires to be corrected. Now, they would not have done something like this if it was a man. But because it is a woman, the correction has to be done by the community. How dare they do it? In fact, you understand that the Supreme Court a couple of years ago decriminalized adultery, saying that on the basis of adultery, even couples, married couples, cannot ask for a divorce or a separation simply based on adultery. Now, that said, because we are a patriarchal society, a lot of taboo around a woman or the partners that she might have, married or unmarried, it doesn't matter. Here it is talking about marriage because the marriage part of it probably in the Indian society adds to a little more of that chastity, fidelity, and so-called purity that a woman must uphold, but not a man. But beating her up, asking her to wear that, not asking, sorry, forcing her to wear a garland of chappals and shoes is absolute assault, unacceptable that a group of people decide that they have a right to extend punishment, or for that matter, decide about her character and harm her physically, of course, mentally and psychologically, of course, she has been harmed, but physically harming her and parading her with those shoes around her neck. Uh, they also know that nothing will happen. Police has arrested, yes, but how many times has the police arrested all of them? How many times has the police actually taken these people to court? And where has the court given any such verdict where it says that all these 10, 20 people or 50 people who are involved in this must go to jail? The court doesn't take these things so seriously. It goes around to say, you know, in our society, women have been placed as God and as goddesses and mothers, so they must not do this and they must not do that. So I think we need to hold the state also accountable when such atrocities are committed on women.
Tahira Hassan, now in a country where a woman is considered Devi, where a woman is worshipped, we have many goddesses that have taken the form of a woman. This kind of a situation is happening, and this is not the husband. These are these villagers who have the audacity to first intervene in a personal matter and then decide that a woman who decides to have a lover outside of her marriage needs to be paraded with a garland of shoes, harassed, assaulted. What would you like to say?
It's very shocking, you know, and we women activists always say that don't treat us as goddess, but protect our human rights, you know, and our constitutional rights. We don't want people to treat us as goddess, but treat us as a citizen of this country, and our rights that are embedded, enshrined in Constitution. That is all. And the second thing, that the patriarchy is very deep rooted in our society, where the women's sexuality is controlled. You know, the guideline is made by the patriarchy that women should go this time and come back this time. They should take this job and take not that job. If she will violate the rule of patriarchy, then yes, this will happen. She will be raped, she will be beaten, like that. Here the woman was dragged, you know, and compelled to wear garland of shoes, you know. Who are these people, mob, who have taken the law in their hand without any fear? You know, they have no legal authority. Like a khap panchayat, kangaroo courts, behaves like a kangaroo courts. Here these mob took the law in their hands and inflicted atrocities, humiliated this woman in the name of honor and morality. Who has given them right to protect the morality of the women and act as a moral police? So I think they have no fear of law, and we have very strong laws, but they are not implemented. Why they are not implemented? If this violates our constitutional value also. I think action, stringent punishment must be given to these mob, because where are we leading? You know, are we in anarchy? Anybody can take the law in the hand? In the largest democracy, for what we say this largest democracy is run by the constitution, where nobody is following the law, and we say nobody is above the law, but what is happening? They are not, this mob is not legal, they have no legal authority, and they have taken the law in their hand. How much they have humiliated this woman over the extramarital affair. If it is wrong, then too, they have no right to take the law in their hands and just humiliate her publicly. I think the action must be taken. We have enough laws. These laws must be implemented. Every time we talk, this is a painful. It shook the nation. But what happens? Again, that is repeated. The man can rape 6-month-old girl, but he will not be paraded. Woman will be paraded sometimes naked also. Sometimes she is compelled to wear the garland of the shoes. I think it's it's disgusting, and I will say this, just, you know, violate the value of a constitution. So it must be taken seriously.
You know, now I of course want to go across to Shamshravesh Rain, who's an advocate at the Supreme Court. Now, Ms. Rain, the problem here is that if the judiciary is going to suspend the sentence of a rape accused, if a CPM leader is going to say that women in a marriage are meant to be slept with and they have no other purpose of existence, are we really talking about a problem, a deeper rooted problem than this particular incident?
Yes, of course. I mean, the mindset, no matter where you are sitting on what post you are, the mindset is same. Thinking that women come subordinate to them. Well, if we talk about bail, so it depends from case to case, wherein the honorable court sees that as per the case, how much time the person has spent behind the bars. So there are a lot of things that are seen. But if a political person sitting on such a higher stature, he makes such kind of statement, this is outrageous. This kind of a statement should not be made, and such kind of people should not be given a platform of such higher place wherein people get influenced by such words. So there is a famous saying, great power comes with great responsibility, which all of these people need to understand that no matter what they say, people are following them. So it's better to make good statement over there. Such kind of incidents are happening. The particular case that we are talking about, for it is outraging the modesty of a woman. So in that, the offense, the term period for the jail is from 1 year to 5 years. So even the police also sees that it is a bailable offense. And if it is the tenure is 1 year to 5 years, so the person can get bail easily, even if he's in the jail. So from the court he can get bail. So that's why such kind of cases keep on happening again and again. These kind of men, these kind of mob, they think that it is okay to go behind the bars for a month or 2 or 6 months or a year. But we have done something great, and our society and our people and from our religion, tribe, whoever, they are going to be happy that we have done something that is in order to, according to them, to control the culture, to keep it the way it was past 100, 200 years back. So these people, these mob, think that they have the moral responsibility. And such kind of man, such kind of mob should be thoroughly beaten, and taught them that no, this is not done. You cannot touch a woman, no matter whether she is wrong, right, as per her own understanding. Whether that is wrong or not, it is her choice to make. It's not your choice or my choice to make. It's her choice to make whether she wants to stay in the marriage, not stay in the marriage, get married to someone else, or whatever. So no one has a right over anyone's body, especially a woman. That you have a right. If you might have heard that a lady had cut her hair very short, almost like a man's hair, and her in-laws brutally bashed her. Why? Because that is against their family values and all. So the mindset is such that they have gone insane, and such kind of people really need to be treated in a very strict manner by the code, by the law, that if you touch any woman in whatever capacity you are in, that will go against you. People should be scared before doing anything wrong. Whereas here in India, not only India, but the other neighboring countries also, for them, they can take laws in their hand pretty easily. And that is where the government, the law, the enforcement agencies have failed.
All right, Ms. Rain, I'll come back. I want to now bring in Mr. L.N. Rao, former DCP Special Cell. Mr. Rao, now there has been a certain lapse because, of course, now she has been taken to the hospital. But why is there an uproar on social media? That is because how this even happened in the first place. Do you think that this incident could have been prevented with faster intervention or better policing?
Good evening, Vaishali. Good evening to co-panelists and all your viewers. It is a really shocking and very tragic incident has been reported in from Tripura, and the way the people has handled this situation, that was not at all warranted, and it's against the violation of the human rights and our law. As far as the prevention of this case is concerned, that it depends upon whether it was reported to the police earlier or not, whether before taking this action by this group of people has informed the police about it. Was it the case then that definitely it could have been prevented, but without information to the police or without any intelligence input about this incident to be taken place, then the police was helpless to prevent this such type of incident. But definitely taking a stern action against the perpetrators, against the accused, it will definitely demonstrate a very long way effect to the other people who are intending to do such type of act in future also. Again, that after completing the investigation is very short period and given time, then the charge sheet can be filed before the court, and not only before the court charge sheet, that all depends upon the whatever evidence has been collected against against accused person by the police. That is very important. If there is a lack of evidence or a weak evidence is collected, then they will be scot free in the court. And more particularly, each and every person who are involved in this crime, definitely they should be identified. Most probably during investigation, it's very easy to identify them. And after identifying the appropriate legal action, whatever it may be, that sections you have explained, that modesty of women, beating, and wrongful confinement, and house trespass, and criminal intimidation, etc. Then all these offences, now these are bailable, but still, I think police, if want to take stern action, they can take stern action against all the persons. More particularly, that people who are involved, they all should be held responsible, and more particularly the person who has instigated these people, because this type of crime cannot be done by an individual or by two persons. So there is somebody who is directing this type of crime to be committed. Some like panchayat head or something like the head of the community, they might have decided to go by this, and that person should also be definitely, whether he was involved directly or not directly, but if he was having a brain behind, or he was involved in a criminal conspiracy about this crime, definitely he should also be held responsible, so that no other person can dare to do such type of act in future. And more importantly, that this is moral policing is not allowed at all, because our country law will take its own course. If there was something wrong about this woman, that she should have been dealt with accordingly. But I don't think that if she's having some relations with some other person, that is a crime. That definitely it's not a crime. As other my co-panelists have said, that women has her own will and wishes to whatever relations she wants to make with someone. She is free to do that in our law. There is no crime by that. But if they are taking these things as their community, a violation of their community principles, and that is not done, and that should not be allowed in our country. And these type of actions, if are not taken very hard hands, then these tend to increase. But at the same time, when the trial and investigation is completed in very short period, after having very good evidences against all the persons, and trial is completed within a very time frame, and more particularly, there are fast track courts about the crime against women, definitely that should be taken to that court, and as soon as possible the judgment of this crime should come out, so that, and the people, if they are convicted, then it will be having a very far-reaching effect in the society, and if they are acquitted, then definitely that will be an adverse effect in the society, and the people will tend to do these things again and again, because they will think that they will get away with it.
Right, Mr. Rao. I'll come back to you. Now, I want to bring in Brinda Arige. Brinda, let's flip it for context. Let's just imagine that it was a man who had an extramarital affair in this case. Let's just flip it, viewers, for context, because we're not saying that men and women should be treated differently. They're equal and they should be treated alike. But Brinda, do you think that the villagers would have reacted the same way if it was a man in question?
No, they rarely do. They just assume saying that, there's something wrong with the wife or something wrong with the partner, and so he's going around doing all these things. They would never have beaten him up. They would never have paraded him with a garland of shoes. This just goes to show that they will make excuses, because in our patriarchal society, the man is allowed to have agency over his body. Nobody controls him. No law, whether it is panchayat deciding about what his character is, or for that matter, the police themselves. They have complete agency over their body. They have every right to do what they want, when they want, with whoever they want. So the man will never be punished. In fact, there will be excuses made for his behavior, which is unethical. But because it is a woman, like I said, there is a lot of stuff that is added to that. Her virtue, her character, all of that has to be taken care of and protected by this woman. And like you mentioned, we have so many devis and we worship all of those devis. But never do we assert in any kind of quality to the Devi where it might be sexual in nature. So that is how every woman in India must be. Every woman is a Devi. And that Devi, we will decide. The men and the women, women also are not somebody who say we will not beat up this other woman. They also join in that mob to say we will beat her up. Maybe the number of women in the mob might be less, but they are also party to it, where they assume that they can extend punishment to teach her a lesson that she has no control over her body. She cannot go and sleep with somebody else. She can't have sex with somebody else except her husband. Though a husband or maybe a father or brother can have a number of such relationships, a woman cannot. Like the advocate panelist pointed out, the agency of a woman over her body is zero. That chastity, purity, fidelity is something only the woman must uphold. But this is how the courts also look at these things. One is they will drag the case. Two is acquittal is almost 98 to 99% sure that the people who beat her up do not get punished. They may get some time in jail, we don't know, but that's also very, very rare. It is time that we tell our leaders, both religious leaders, political leaders, and social leaders, that constitutional guarantees, constitutional rights of both men and women must be talked about more and more. This whole idea that a woman belongs to a man must be shattered, because that is the possession that we continuously talk about every time. In fact, you look at all our rituals. A woman has to wear her Mangal Sutra and it must hang outside her dress. So everybody knows that she is already a possession of another man. But that is not the same kind of outward possession that we talk about for men. How do you find out a man is married? A woman must wear sindoor. A woman must wear toe rings. And somewhere along the line, I also read that the toe rings are for her to control her own sexual fantasies, needs, and all of those kind of things. So many kind of outwardly symbols that this woman is taken. This woman is somebody's possession. This woman cannot be simply, having her own rights and her own desires that she can want to act on. So it is time for us as a community, as a society, to also understand that these things this Puritanian things about woman being somebody's possession is not constitutional. The Constitution gives right to both men, women, not to both men, women, and trans persons to be their own person. And that person's worth cannot be decided by a mob or a community.
Tahira Hassan is an activist Tahira, this continued misogyny, this is a very important case because we all know the facts, but the important point here is that it's brought out societal attitudes towards women. These people, the villagers, this is not directed at the extramarital affair. This mostly seems to be directed at the fact that how dare a woman have an extramarital affair. Now,
Yes,
why do you think public shaming continues to be used as a tool of control, especially against women?
Because I already said in my opening statement that patriarchy is deep rooted and women's sexuality is controlled. She can't decide anything herself. She is used as commodity, or you can say as a property. She must act as the patriarchy is guiding her. When she is not following the guideline of patriarchy, then she will be punished. You are doing this on your own will. You are not following the guideline of patriarchy. Your lifestyle is not supposed to be that patriarchy has said. You're not wearing the dresses according to the patriarchy, and you're not behaving the way you have been told by the guideline, then you will be punished. This is a way that woman is not supposed to be. The patriarchy, the woman is not, brainless creature they treat. They treat her. She's not, made as, she's not treated as a human being, with a soul and with her rights that I said enshrined in one constitution. Everybody knows. What to tell that you think patriarchy, these men don't know about it? That who are the misogynic, they don't know about the women's rights, that those are enshrined in our constitution. This largest democracy is run by the constitution. We say 1,000 times that women's rights are there. Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar put the emphasis on it, that no society is civilized unless or until women has access on knowledge and decision making. But do you think the women has any right in decision making? No, zero rights. So this is the main cause that women are used as a property.
Tahira
So
ji, I have one
naturally-
very important point. I'd like to interrupt you because I want to bring in Shamshravesh Rain, and we only have 2 minutes on this debate. Shamshravesh, I want to ask you now, what kind of, beyond arresting the accused, of course, what support, legal, medical or psychological, must be ensured for the victim? 2 minutes.
The lady would get a legal aid advocate who will fight her case, and of course, as per the government, the Supreme Court guidelines, also she will get a counselor who will counsel her in order to make sure that she is mentally stable and at a right mindset. She would be able to make a statement in the court, and these are the rights that she has and which she will get. And besides that, of course, these mobs would also have their own right to engage a lawyer in this matter. But since this matter will now become a state matter, wherein the case would be named as state versus the accused persons, so the state council would be representing her in the court. Besides state, if she wants to engage her own counsel, that also is she has the right to engage that, but the state would be fighting the case on her behalf now.
Right, Shamshravesh. Now, viewers, every time that I report on this, I always feel that when will this stop? And really the question is, when will this stop? I want to thank all my esteemed guests for joining me on the broadcast. And with that, we're slipping into a short commercial break. I'll see you on the other side.